Welcome into Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. Appreciate you joining us as we bring you some Seahawks injury news. As running back Rashaad Penny is dealing with a groin injury, according to Seahawks head coach Pete Carroll, and that will mean that he is likely out for Saturday night's preseason game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Seahawks went through their walkthroughs, and Penny did not quite look right. Here's the report from Brady Henderson of ESPN this afternoon, stating Rashaad Penny is feeling a little bit of groin tightness, per Pete Carroll. So we're just taking care of him. Didn't take part in the walkthrough. Doesn't sound or look like he'll play Saturday, but Carroll didn't quite say that. Don't know if he'd play a ton in the preseason anyway. Henderson went on to write, Carroll has a glowing, even by his standards, assessment for Ken Walker III, saying he's surprised at how well-rounded the rookie running back has become. Said he's turned the page with his college pass pro struggles. He could play all three downs, and we'd feel comfortable with it. So with that, it looks like a big opportunity ahead for Kenneth Walker III to really show off in his preseason debut, with Rashaad Penny likely out for Saturday night's matchup against the Pittsburgh Steelers. So, our pinned comment today: what is your level of concern with Rashaad Penny? He has an extensive injury history. We will go through all of that in just a moment, but before we do, want to hear from you guys directly. What's your level of concern with this groin issue right now for the Seahawks running back? You don't have Chris Carson anymore. Now you're relying on Penny and Walker. Can you rely on those guys, in particular Rashaad Penny right now? Let me know in the comment section. Scale it 1 through 10, what your level of concern is with Rashaad Penny with his injury issue right now. This is why you subscribe to the channel, folks. We bring you all the latest happenings with your Seattle Seahawks when it comes to the injury front. We also have the watch parties and all sorts of breaking news that we bring you straight to the channel here on Seahawks Today. One way or the other, you'll never miss a moment. We'll keep you informed with what's going on with your team here on the channel. Subscribe now if you haven't already, youtube.com/SeahawksTV. Tell all your friends, make sure they're subscribed so they never miss a moment with all the latest Seattle Seahawks news and rumors from Seahawks Today by Chat Sports. It's youtube.com/SeahawksTV. So let's take a look at the Seahawks depth chart, where things stand right now. With Rashaad Penny, he is your running back number one in the depth chart that was released this week by the Seahawks, with Kenneth Walker III as your number two guy. And then you can see Travis Homer at that 3 spot. I mean, your number 6 running back on the depth chart is a former Super Bowl champion in Darwin Thompson of the Kansas City Chiefs. So even with that said, with Rashaad Penny, with this injury that he suffered, with his injury history, you have guys that, even though it may not necessarily jump off the page, when you look more into it, there's options of guys with experience that could potentially step up here for this Seahawks team if Penny is going to be out a while. You look at Penny's last 4 seasons, and we've seen him have his flashes of greatness. You go back to last year, he finished with close to 750 rushing yards and finished 2022 so strong in those final 5 or 6 games of last year, and that's what the Seahawks were hoping to see more of from Rashaad Penny in 2022, was the running back that they saw at the end of 2021. And also along those lines there with Rashaad Penny, throughout training camp, he looked really good. He had cut down a bit and put on muscle, was in really good football shape, and the coaches were just beaming about what Rashaad Penny looked like going into camp and that he had impressed so far to this point. So hopefully we see Rashaad Penny get back there pretty soon. Now, the injury history, this is where things get concerning for Rashaad Penny. This is not unfamiliar territory for the Seahawks running back. You go back to August 2018, had a hand-finger fracture. December 2018, a knee strain, grade 1. And then in September 2018, also had a thigh hamstring grade 2. December 2019, had the ACL tear. And then in 2021, there was a slew of things that occurred with Rashaad Penny. In January, there was the knee strain, grade 1. In September 21, you had the leg calf strain. And then in November 21, the hamstring strain as well. That's 7 different injuries that he suffered in his NFL career before this most recent groin issue that he's dealing with right now. So we'll see what comes of it. Hopefully he's okay and that this doesn't linger on and add to already the lengthy injury history of Rashaad Penny of what he's suffered so far in the National Football League. Now, the Seahawks' first preseason game coming up on Saturday night. That game will get started about 4 o'clock Pacific time, taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I got to tell you, when I look at this matchup, it's going to be very intriguing to see what the Seahawks roll out at this point, because you have 2 quarterbacks trying to vie for this starting job. And now you know that you're without your top running back. Does this just mean that the Seahawks are just going to unleash, that they're going to say to their quarterbacks, boys, have at it, basically, that, hey, you don't know your running back situation. You know, you're trying to hold things back with Rashaad Penny, obviously. Is this an opportunity now? Does this turn into something for Drew Lock and for Geno Smith to extensively throw the football and see what they have there? To me, that's what I am intrigued about, is if the game strategy at all changes for these quarterbacks now that they won't have their top running back. Now, it is the preseason. It's not unusual to sit players, your top guys, in the preseason at all. So for the sake of the Seahawks, they know Rashaad Penny's a good back. There's no reason to rush this back and to play him week 1, even if he is okay in this first preseason game. But nonetheless, we'll continue to follow it and see what happens for the Seahawks running back Rashaad Penny there. Speaking of this preseason game with the Pittsburgh Steelers on Saturday night, we will be bringing you a live watch party here on Seahawks Today. We'll get started just prior to kickoff with a little pregame show at 6:45 Eastern, 3:45 on the West Coast, and we'll count you down to kickoff from there, and then afterwards we'll do a little post-game reaction as well. Going to be a great time. Invite all your friends, and you will not be disappointed. Have some drinks with us and enjoy some Seahawks football to kick off 2022. It is the Seahawks Today official Seahawks watch party beginning at 6:45 Eastern, 3:45 Pacific, right here on Seahawks Today. And I want to know a little prediction before we kind of wrap up things here with Rashaad Penny in this update here. Let me know in the comments section. Will Rashaad Penny play week 1? Will he be okay from this groin injury and be good to go here in a few weeks when the season begins? Or will there be something else that pops up potentially? I'm very curious. Will we see Rashaad Penny back week 1? I hope so. Let me know in the comments section. What do you guys think if Rashaad Penny is going to be fully ready to go week 1 when the Seahawks open up against the Denver Broncos to start the regular season of Monday Night Football? Y for yes, in for no, if Rashaad Penny will be able to go week 1. Subscribe to the channel. We bring you all the breaking news, the watch parties, live shows, everything in between. We're going to have a lot of fun, I can guarantee you that, on Saturday night. Going to be a great time here on Seahawks Today. You will not want to miss it. Join us then as we begin our coverage, 6:45 Eastern, 3:45 Pacific, right here on Seahawks Today. Thanks for joining us.